Welcome back to BT. Students, of course, will be heading back to the classroom in September, and that's left many parents feeling uneasy. More and more folks seem to be looking into the idea of homeschooling. Joining us now is Judy Arnall from the Alberta Homeschooling Association. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. I think this is a conversation that a lot of people are looking into having. Homeschooling, is there more of an interest right now given the COVID-19 pandemic?
There's a huge interest in homeschooling. Our numbers have pretty well doubled in the last week since the minister made the announcement.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about myths. I know there are some preconceived notions swirling around homeschooling. What are some of the myths that you commonly hear?
Okay, first of all, homeschooling takes about a tenth of the time as regular school. So it's there's no tests involved, there's no attendance requirements, and children can home educate and go on to university and get diplomas, and it's really a lot easier than people think.
Is homeschooling different than what parents have been doing the last couple of months, which has been referred to as at-home learning?
Absolutely. So if parents want to take on control of their child's education themselves, they have to legally notify the government or school authority by September 30th, and that puts them in the driver's seat of their children's education.
Sorry, please go on.
Whereas this spring, parents were facilitating the schools teaching their children at home. They were not in the driver's seat. So it was more like parents were enforcing homework this spring.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very tricky situation for parents, many of which have never had to try and approach, educating their child. Where do we begin if we're going to consider homeschooling in September? Oh, we've lost you there for a second. Are you back, Judy?
I'm back.
Okay. Oh, the joys of technology. Okay, if I want to get into homeschooling, where do I begin?
Okay, and parents have to legally send in a notification form for each of their children to a school authority, anyone across Alberta, any school authority, by September 30th. That deadline is very important for parents to get $850 in funding and school authority support and a facilitator assigned to them. So they have to do that to change from school to home education.
Okay. What if I've got multiple children in different grades? Does that make it particularly difficult to homeschool?
Actually, no, it makes it easy. The main things to keep kids learning is math and reading and writing, and you can adapt any assignment but more to a child's age and developmental level. So many parents do the same teaching but just adapt it to that particular child's ability.
Okay. Well, I'm sure this chat has probably piqued the interest of many of our viewers, because people are looking at their options, especially with the COVID-19 cases continuing to climb. We'll remind them that they can, of course, contact you and the Alberta Homeschooling Association with any questions that they might have. Thanks for joining us this morning, Judy.